Mine? No, it belongs to the whirling in rags.
Thank you for clearing that up. Why do you keep the container locked?
Why? To keep the hobos and drunks out. That's why. And the neighbors, too. They put their trash there, and they don't pay for the garbage company.
I thought as much. And are you the only party with access to the trash container?
Well, yes. Us and the garbage disposal company.
It seems a little callous, doesn't it? Something stirs in you.
No, it doesn't. Nothing stirs in me, and it's not callous, it's common sense.
Okay then. Maybe you're callous yourself.
We need the keys.
What do you need them for?
It concerns the case. Please cooperate.
Just bring them back once you're done, please.
Goodbye. Can I use the keys to go through here? Nope. Can't interact with either of those doors now. I could earlier, but they were locked.
This trash container is locked. The sliding lid has a padlock that says,
Open the padlock.
"Whirling in rag." With a well-oiled crack, the lock pops open. It should now be possible to simply raise the lid. Don't. Maybe you shouldn't.
Continue.
Maybe you shouldn't. Of course you should. This is your time to shine, Hobo Cop.
Hobo
Dive
Cop.
into that dumpster for extra content.
Open the lid.
The smell of rotten food rises to greet you. You see soggy cartons, dirty rags, and organic waste.
We're just in time. This hasn't been emptied for over a week.
Dig in Hobocop style for extra content.
Wow, an Armistice caliber 50 knock cannon, half wrapped in paper tissues. So shiny.
What's a knot cannon?
It's a giant rifle, and it's very expensive. Not as expensive as that fat string of pearls snaking around the rotten banana peels, however. And is that Cordon Electric's preamp with Electra F2 tubes? It is. That catches quite a price. We're talking 12,000, easy. Unless you're into hi-fi yourself.
I'll sell it.
No, you won't. Because none of those things are real. They're not actually in there. All you see is food waste and crisp wrappings.
Cruel jest. There must be something.
All you see is a broken mug with a racist depiction of the Yellow Man frolicking in saffron.
An antique?
Only in its social sensibility.
I have to take the mug. He briefly glances at the mug and then returns his sight to the trash.
You've acquired an interactable item. Investigate this item further by going to the Interact tab in your inventory.
Look under the boxes of carton.
You see milk and egg rest with one broken egg in it. Some pasta wrapper. Picking up the soggy packages somehow feels familiar.
Continue.
A box falls into pieces in your hands. Batiste Soleil cereal. There are plastic pasta packages below. And turbo noodles. Nothing of note, however.
Pick at the rags.
Among the threadbare kitchen towels, something catches your eye. A pair of denim trousers.
Grab them?
As the legs of the slime-covered jeans begin to unspool from the garbage, a rank corpse smell fills the air.
The victim's clothes? Cadaverine odor is faint. If these belong to the deceased, they were removed when he was still in the early stages of decay.
Who took the corpse's pants?
Drop them in here, officer.
He produces a black plastic bag marked evidence from his pockets.
Guitar marked blue jeans. Pockets empty or emptied. He wore them with a belt, too. A white belt. The loops appear stretched, but
He looks into the container.
the belt is missing. That's it. Do you see anything else in there? I have another bag here.
Something slimy catches your eye.
Reach for it.
A drab, long-sleeved shirt, olive-colored, appears from the food waste, dripping with pus.
This is a military-type overgarment. No label or serial number. This is the kind of rib-knit shirt that's worn over light armor to conceal it in an urban scenario. Anything more?
The rest of the rags are just kitchen variety waste. Just garbage.
That's all I think.
All right. We should go to Gart again and ask if he knows who put the clothes in the trash. It could be as simple as someone from the hostel cleaning the yard. Or that one. I'd advise against confronting that force.
He nods towards the red-haired boy. You think someone from the Whirling might have been involved, maybe?
Not really. All we know is the victim's clothes are in the trash. The lid was locked, and his establishment had the key. It's just a small loose thread.
Okay.
The lieutenant nods, then looks back into the trash container.
Search the food waste.
It's just organic waste, cold and slimy on your hands. Apple and potato peels, mostly. Unidentified sludge, and the occasional chicken bone thrown in for good measure. But hey.
Trying to figure out where to put this.
Nothing. It's nothing. Nothing more to see here. What's this?
What?
A blue piece of plastic sticks out from the apple peels. It's shiny. Looks like the corner of something.
Pick it out.
Something larger. A clipboard. A blue plastic clipboard with moist papers hanging from it. They look badly damaged, but you can still make out forms and notes, written in a man's handwriting.
Continue.
Officer, is that your paperwork?
I don't know what this is.
It is. Look, the plastic has the RCM street grid on it. You've even got an autopsy form in there.
A miserable-looking slip of paper sticks to the board.
If you don't mind me asking, how did this get in the trash?
Someone from the Whirling threw it in the trash? I don't know. I'm boring.
Boring. Try dangerous. You should do a thorough inventory of that. Be sure some has not fallen into the hands of the RCM's enemies, organized crime or worse. Official notes sometimes contain informants' names, even undercover operatives.
Okay, yeah, I'll do that.
It would also not hurt to start taking notes on the case. Now, tell me what your eagle eyes see. Or are we finished?
Some items, such as the ledger you found, are interactable. Go to your inventory and select the Interact tab to read your paperwork.
Close the
The
lid.
container sounds a muffled gong.
That's one thing off the list. I think we got it all.
Leave. Okay. Yellow Man Mug. Interact. This broken-eared mug somehow made its way into the Whirling in Rags dumpster. It depicts a person in Samoran descent frolicking in a field of saffron flowers, buck-toothed and grinning feeble-mindedly. It seems to be a cheap knockoff of some colonial-era antique. Ledger. This is the ledger you found in the trash, full of notes written in a man's dense cursive. Have a closer look, and maybe it can be salvaged to start keeping notes on the case. Okay. Wait, there's a... Hold on. Click the red button.
It's just a racist
Oh.
mug. What's there to read here? Not much.
There's quite a lot to read into here, actually. Look at all that content.
Oh boy, here we go. What are you going to say about a broken, tossed-away mug that you dug out of the garbage?
This mug is an example of prejudice. I'm going to use it as an example of what not to do.
But it was in the trash. Why not just call it out when you see it? Or do some volunteering work? Just finish your case, detective. It's the ledger you found in the trash. A pitiful cabbage of white and yellow papers hanging from plastic board, barely held together by a metal clip. This sad display is made complete by the faint smell of urinal cleaner.
Anything else?
There's a piece of toilet paper, or is it cleaning tissue? No, it's toilet paper. desperately sticking to the back of the blue plastic clipboard. It's a metaphor for you. Below the pathetics, terror. Do not look into its blue heart.
Inspect the toilet paper.
It's just toilet paper sticking to the back of the plastic clipboard. You can take it off if you want.
Take it off.
Still wet, the toilet paper peels off the plastic easily. All you have to do is shake it off with your finger and voila! The ledger now looks marginally better.
Inspect the clip.
An aluminium block runs the width of the board, biting down on the paperwork. Its crocodile teeth are the only thing keeping the papers together. A regular pencil, the tip worn down to nothing, has been attached to the clip.
Muck, have you ever played Europa Universalis 4 or Hearts of Iron? No and no. Run your fingers across the aluminium.
The surface is interrupted by a silvery sticker. It's rectangular, sparkling with iridescence. You don't know how you didn't notice it before.
Hey, Lieutenant, what's this? Point to the sticker.
What? That thing. It's a halogen watermark. We use it for adding information to RCM property.
How can I read it?
Any capable light with the right wavelength will do.
Like, for example?
All RCM vehicles have headlights designed to reveal halogen watermarks. Mine too.
This means you can read the watermarks if you just turn the lights on.
What kind of information?
It depends. Aside from an anti-counterfeiting stamp, mine has my station number and address. The information varies by date of issue.
How many years you've been on the force, he's thinking. It'll have that.
That's all, thank you.
Okay.
He returns to his neatly kept notes.
While a bunch of sodden papers sag from the clipboard in your hand. It's a sorry sight.
Browse the white papers.
They're not exactly white. They're yellowed in patches by sunlight and alcohol, and covered in dense blue handwriting. Ink escapes into watercolor patterns, reaching its tendrils across entire pages. The paper itself is checkered, with faint red lines, forming short paragraphs. Once in a while, there's a red stamp that exclaims, "Case files, commit to paper." The case files themselves are plenty. You count more than 100 sodden, crumpled up, earmarked pages falling apart in your hands. They appear to be sufficiently organized and extremely dense, if mostly illegible.
What's in there? What are they about?
Work, strife, poverty, the Jamrock Quarter. These are handwritten logs of investigations dating back to January 51, this year. The exact number is hard to estimate due to missing pages and an odd naming convention. But there are at least 20, maybe 30 cases undertaken, not completed, mind you. It's the middle of March. You have attempted 2 cases a week on average.
Is 2 cases a week a good caseload, Lieutenant?
Huh? 2 complex cases to undertake is a lot, yes. You really have to push yourself. I would not suggest it, lest you start making mistakes.
Nod and return to the notes.
Arson, petty theft, spousal abuse. Handwritten logs on dozens of investigations date back to January 51. Stamped case files, commit to paper. These are your last couple of months in Revachol, Precinct 41, Jamrock Quarter.
There was mention of a naming convention here?
Yes, it appears you employ a, shall we say, robust yet literary system. Each investigation has its case number written on the margins. Yet, still more tellingly, most are accompanied by a name, a title, one might say even. One that draws inspiration from Snoop fiction and Vespertine cop show staples.
Oh my, and they're written in capital letters too.
Yes, all caps. One is called The Next World Mural. Another, The Square Bullet Hole Murders. Another yet, The Unsolvable Case.
More?
Others appear more light-hearted. The guys on a couch in an unexpected location, and the murder at the Ukar parlor. Even the rare article-free collapsing tenement. Murder.
This is like Noxie's file names. This is like when Noxie sends me files.
It's going to take an effort to piece these case files together, but it can be done. Once you're done inspecting them up close.
Count the pages. I have to open an official case. Is there room?
There is, for precisely one more. 15 pages near the end remain untouched by the damage. The checkered grid forms a structure of passages, breaking the case into subtasks to accomplish.
Commit to paper.
Sadly, the ledger only comes with an old, worn-down lead pencil. It's unfitting of this monumental event.
Kim, do you have a pen?
The lieutenant looks at his blue notebook. 2 fat, shiny pens hang from the binder, like large-caliber bullets on an ammo belt. It's downright incriminating. He has little choice but to give you one, although he really does not want to. He is not really saying anything, just standing there, looking at them.
Can I have one?
Know that I give this to you with resentment.
With this beauty, commit to paper.
The tasks you've completed flow out of the blue oblong pen in a brash freehand uncannily similar to the rest of the letters. The wording comes easily. It's almost robotically simple. A language developed for mental rigor and simplicity. Inspect the victim's body. Interview the cafeteria manager. It's not exactly poetry, but poetry would be out of place.
Cross out the ones you've finished.
A satisfying slash sounds across the paper. You're done, it seems to say. And you, and you. Things to be done and things already done. The composition of reality. This is an extremely useful tool for a detective of the citizens' militia. Now all that remains is to name the case.
Lieutenant, have you by any chance named our case?
No, actually. Any ideas?
The Furies are at home in the mirror.
Furies. Yes, well, I don't know. I have to be honest, I'm not experiencing the internal strife that refers to. And also,
He furrows his brow.
could you make it less poetic somehow? Just a normal case name, you know? Think, what would that be? A good normal name.
Yes, you know what that normal name is, but it's so plain. Anything else, please.
Shit on a stick.
Ah, yes. I have to tell you, officer,
He
I
isn't
don't
laughing.
appreciate ironic titles. Other officers will have to use this as reference. If it's idiot or cockfinger, they're not going to get it. They're going to think an idiot and a cockfinger were on this case. So, do you have something less funny?
Fun is outlawed with this guy. What a knock!
The Hanged Man.
Great. That's great. That's actually what I was thinking too. The Hanged Man. Good, strong name. We have a very good name for the case now. I'm going to start calling it the Hanged Man. It's good we sorted this out.
I'm done inspecting these.
You don't exactly close them, so much as distance yourself from the smelly papers. They're a little further from your nose now.
Logic. Can I read the case files?
Yes, you can
Cool.
piece them together using the alphanumeric code on the margin.
That was a
It
42%.
always begins with HDB 41, then date of initialization and time of arrival on the scene, followed by the title. For example, HDB 41120.
Wait. What's HDB 41?
41 is your precinct.
What's HDB?
It's safe to say those are the initials of the officer responsible for the case. Your initials.
Don't you mean RAC? For Raphael Ambrosius Costa?
No, the alphanumeric begins with HDB.
How long does it take to read one of these Raphael stamped cases?
Fine. It takes about half an hour for you to piece one together. Mr. Raphael, which one do you want?
The Square Bullet Hole Murders.
It would be very interesting to read about these, wouldn't it? I mean, there seems to be a square-shaped entry wound in the victim's forehead. She's been sitting there for weeks, on her rocking chair, with a square hole in her skull, staring at the wall, her mouth agape.
But
That's all you got. From the half hour you spent piecing it together, All you know is the entry wound was square-shaped. You never found the bullet. And then another body showed up, also with a square hole in his forehead.
Sequence killer?
Who knows? Those pages are missing. What next? Don't worry. One day you may still catch the man with the square gun.
Next world mural.
This one is relatively easy to reconstruct. Overnight on 1202, a graffito, nay, a mural, appears on an 8-story tenement overlooking central Jamrock. The building is a sparsely inhabited ghost tower, part of a failed real estate development called Grand Couronne. The mural is enormous. 2 silhouettes, a man and a woman, are kissing. The text cut into their form reads, "True love is possible, only in the next world. For new people, it is too late for us. Wreak havoc on the middle class. People call it that thing and that fucking thing. It's visible for miles. In 2 days, the station's complaints desk gets clogged with requests to remove the bummer. You and your partner are assigned to the case. The graffito crew is easy to track down. Only the bell lettrers have the literage of industrial paint to cover the surface. One of the graffito artists is rumored to be rich. They take responsibility for the execution, but not the design. The ideologue of the next world mural, as the crew calls it, remains an unknown.
Wait, do I ever find out who came up with it?
The case files do not show you finding the author of the design.
Read on.
The crew agrees to clean up after themselves. However, your partner, JV, is against the removal, citing public support for conservation. This leads to a debate in Precinct 41, which then spreads to the streets of Jamrock, ending in a rare plebiscite organized by you and the rest of Row 3.
Okay, chat, give me just a moment to tell the boy goodnight. We'll be back in just a minute. Thank you. Alright. Continue.
The 9,000 people subjected to the mural's message, all of Lakeside, Central Jamrock, and Villa Lobos, plus half of the eminent domain, participate in the vote. Although the case begins with what appears to be a lot of rambling on the streets as to how juvenile and stupid the mural is, given a choice between 2 options.
I mean, they vandalized something that wasn't there, so remove it.
A staggering 78% of voters choose to keep it. Turns out the opposition were a loud minority. And
It
that
often is
love
that way.
truly is possible in the next world for new people. And it is too late for us.
I must have voted and possibly even lobbied to remove the thing because I don't believe in that rubbish one bit.
No one cares what you believe in, man with the smelly toilet ledger. What do you want to tackle next? Or are we done?
I'll come back to
Not
this later.
much has changed in the meanwhile. A bunch of sodden papers still sags from the clipboard.
Look at the clipboard.
It's made of dark blue plastic, hard enough to beat someone to submission with. The edges are rounded, however. The U4 size board feels thick and heavy in your hand. Light shimmers on its wet surface. On the back you see the embossed letters, RCM.
What did you say the color was?
Blue. The blue heart. Don't look into it.
Shake the ledger.
Something rattles inside, ever so lightly. Is there a hidden compartment?
Peek inside.
The plastic shimmers like lapis lazuli, but it is not see-through. You cannot see to its center.
How would I open it?
With your hands, U4-sized pages hang from the clip screwed to the top of the board.
42%. Open the hidden compartment.
Is not what you end up doing.
Dang it.
You squeeze the plastic to slide it open, but nothing happens. Then you bend it some, then crack it. The goddamn thing is stuck. The ledger quivers in your hand. As it shakes, the pages rustle. This pathetic mess suddenly afraid of you for some reason.
Smell the ledger.
The acidic stench of rotting food is rubbed off on the cellulose. It now forms the base of the experience. This base surrounded by a faint air of spoiled meat, the stuff of death itself, and then sprinkled liberally with the citrus zest of toilet cleaner.
Browse the yellow papers.
In the back, you see thin, translucent copier paper, some neon yellow, some bright red, all covered in boxes, like marching armies. These look like official forms, waiting to be filled out. Then rip them from the binder and hand them out, according to type of form.
What types of forms are there?
3. The topmost are misconduct fines, the middle ones are station calls, and the bottommost are field autopsy forms. Each is easy enough to make sense of. You don't have to be an intellectual giant to do police work.
Misconduct fine.
A monetary penalization ranging from 20 to 250 real. Severe cases allow for 1,000 real, but that requires special paperwork. The details of issuing these fines are spread out over the rest of the fields.
Station call.
These are quite sinister in turn. They give a date and time for the person to appear at the specified precinct police station. Below the call are the criminal charges you risk by not appearing.
Field autopsy.
A dozen pages of thin copy paper, bright red in color. You see the parameters of a deceased human form waiting to be filled in. Age, sex, condition of internal organs.
Alright, that's enough.
Yes, all that remains now is to fill those forms and hand them to people. Fines for wrongdoers, interview requests for bad guys, and field autopsies to dead guys. What delicious power hid within this pathetic mess. You feel better. The rest of the stinking cellulose is much worse for wear. Being sandwiched between the board and the rest of the paperwork must have spared the fragile copier paper.
Pull the ledger away. It's like a freaking banana peel stuck to it. Okay. Who made the art for this game? Don't know. Rue de Saint Gilsbane AB.
An old call box with
my
a
God.
matrix of push buttons lists all the companies in the East Delta Commerce Center.
Main hall building
An
A.
off-key melody starts playing after you ring the doorbell. Then a woman picks up the receiver.
Kuno, please stop calling here. Grown-ups don't have time for your stupid games.
This is the police. Open the door.
Oh, I'm sorry, officer. I thought you were...
There's a spot of static.
But the doorbell is broken, and the bookstore shouldn't even be on the list anymore. So I can't help you. Please don't call here again. Thanks.
A single beep indicates that the line has gone dead.
Andro Orlando Hersi SCA. Shugo says, wait, reals, is this on Brazil? Look, just because it's got reals and we found a corpse in a tree doesn't mean it's Brazil, Shugo. Let's, calm down.
You ring the doorbell, but no one answers.
Dang it, I'm trying to find evidence, people.
What an ominous name for a hair salon. Doesn't bode well for anyone's hair.
Artemiteps Boxing for young athletes and gym.
All you hear is static, but no one answers the call.
24th window.
You ring the doorbell, but nothing happens.
Emma's Fashion Atelier.
You wait for a minute or two, but all you get from the call box is silence. No one answers the call.
Febron's Taxi.
Looks like someone has melted half the plastic off with a lighter. The doorbell doesn't work anymore.
Slipstream SCA.
You hear static from the intercom speaker. It sounds as if someone has picked up the receiver but isn't saying anything.
Hello?